Hello world, how's it going? It's been a long time since we've done this. I think I've got a setup I like. We might be able to switch it around, just see what's good. But sadly, this first return episode to Hello World is kind of a sad one because it hits me personally and it prevents me from doing what I'm doing, and I'm sure all of you have likely heard of it. The adpocalypse, as many YouTubers are calling it. YouTube is deciding that in order to ensure that advertisers are getting their ads put on videos that are suitable for them, there's certain guidelines we now have to follow on YouTube. This has been affecting a lot of major YouTube channels, especially ones that invoke a lot of language or violence, because now they deem that not suitable for all advertisers. Or if there's tragedies involved, or if there's controversy, political stuff, they will demonetize certain YouTube videos and run either limited ads or no ads on them at all. So this has been going on for a while, and when it was first enacted, I kind of understood it. I know a lot of people are upset about that. You know, they say free speech, we should be allowed to say whatever we want, we should be allowed to make whatever we want. I'd like to remind you all that's still an option. It is annoying that there are videos that were getting monetized before that are not getting monetized now, and that's upsetting to a lot of YouTube channels, but it was only a matter of time before advertisers influence the content they advertise on caught up with YouTube. It's gone on this way for many, many years. It's been the same case with television, and it's been the same case with magazines and even movies. People who pay for the actual product to get made do have a sway on how the content is made. YouTube is very new at this. YouTube is a very new introduction into the mass amount of media that we as a country and as a world now have access to. So it was only a matter of time, and that's actually one of the reasons I thought it would be smart to stay a family-friendly channel. You've noticed that across all these Talos of channels. It's not like me and my friends never curse or we never say anything bad. We are very different people off camera, but we understand that when the camera is rolling, we are presenting to a wide demographic, and we have to understand that, you know, we can't get away with just saying anything we want, and it oftentimes will offend people, and we don't want to do that. We want to appeal to the most massive amount of people we can, and that's why Tailosive is still family friendly. You know, you don't see us enacting acts of violence on anyone, of course, and you don't see us doing language, you don't see us do much political stuff or controversial stuff. It's because I believe that the Tailosive network should be escape from life for a lot of people. There's bad things going on all the time. The news covers that plenty. There's other YouTubers that cover that plenty, but that is currently not really my goal with the Tailosive network. Maybe someday we can do new stuff, but not anytime now. Right now, you know, the largest chunk of our fans are just following tech news, and when you're following iPhones and the Pixel, you don't need to hear about the latest tragedies or the latest controversies, and you don't need to hear bad language. You just need to hear the facts and maybe some humor mixed in there. And something I'm really passionate about is this channel, the Talks channel, because it allows me to break out of my tech shell, and as the second most popular YouTube channel I run, it shows that there's a lot more to me than just tech stuff. I like talking about stuff that's not related to Apple or Google or whatever, because I have a lot of opinions that go far beyond which smartphone camera has the best pictures. There's only so much you can talk about there, and I feel like the potential of the Talks channel is a lot greater, and we can talk about a lot more things on here, especially things like my vlogs. Not only do I enjoy showing you guys a lot of my personal life and what I do in my free time, but it's also nice to have a documented file of what your life is like. At the time of recording this, there's 111 vlogs on the Tailosive Talks channel, and I watch myself go to college, I watch myself leave college and start working, and I watch myself work on a ranch, and I watch myself go on vacation with my family, start dating my amazing girlfriend, and just kind of, you can watch your life as it happened, and you can see what clothes you were wearing that day, what people around you looked like, and I think the older those vlogs get, the more interesting they'll get, because they'll show how different of a life I used to have, and how little I knew about the future back then, and I think that makes it more interesting. Unlike the tech videos, which the older they get, the kind of more outdated they become and the less relevant they become. Who cares about the iPhone 7 Plus unboxing 10 years down the road? It's not going to make much of a difference. So that's why I do want to put a lot of energy and effort towards this Talks channel, even though it doesn't make that much money. It's not a primary source of income by any means, but it's still important to me, and I see the potential in it. So here's my problem with the YouTube demonetization feature. While I understand that YouTube needed to bring advertisers back to YouTube, because for those of you who don't know, the reason this whole thing started was because a lot of advertisers started pulling their ads off of YouTube because they found out that their ads were being played on controversial content, whether it be white supremacy stuff or Nazi YouTube channels or stuff like that. Something that was not the majority, but because they were concerned and they didn't want to be accused of paying Nazis to promote their ads, a lot of major brands started pulling out of YouTube, which of course is a big problem because it means all of us as creators make less now per view. We kind of of rely on big advertisers for these channels to exist. So YouTube took drastic measures to get them back, and they have got them back, but really at the expense of hurting a lot of content creators. To number one, which I can find harsh but understandable, is the demonetization of people who use non-family friendly content, which is annoying sometimes, especially on a lot of channels I like to watch that use a lot of language. Now they have to bleep themselves out a lot. It gets annoying, and I'm frustrated that that's how it has to work, but I can understand, you know, YouTube had to do something. But my second problem, and this is where it affects me personally, is they're demonetizing my own videos, which are not disrespecting or not following any of the laws that they set up themselves. There's been about 9 to 10 tech videos I've made, which of course have had no controversial content in terms of political stuff. If Google means controversial by like saying that I like Apple products, first of all, no, that's not how the guideline works. I've read it very extensively, thorough, and I was not disrespecting anything in there. And you guys know me, I do not curse in my videos. There's also been no violence enacted on anyone. I mean, there's been some rant videos where I get angry, but the more annoying thing is when you request a manual review of your video, which by the way requires 1,000 views in 7 days. If you cannot get your video to receive 1,000 views in 7 days, they won't even look at it to see if the bot messed up, which definitely puts a lot of pressure on small channels because now they can't have any form of income if they're not getting 1,000 views in 7 days per video. And if they do want to have some sort of income, and that's kind of the viewer watch time numbers you get, your video will still be demonetized until it is able to be manually reviewed, which means that basically those first 1,000 views you get, which for a lot of smaller channels that can be a lot of views, none of those will have ads on them. Therefore, the long process it takes to review a wrongly accused video of being demonetized results in the majority of the views and the majority of the watch time not accounting for any monetization. So by the time that YouTube has figured out the bot has made a mistake, it's already too late. All of the money that could have been made on that video is now lost because there were limited to no ads running on it. It's not like you get all this money back. It's very different than copyright claims. A lot of people are getting those two things confused. When there's a copyright claim on your video, it means that a third party saw its content within yours, and there can still be ads running on your video, but all of the money made from those ads are going to the rightful owner, which is already a big controversial topic because sometimes the bot makes it unfair. You know, you use 4 seconds of a song in your video and the artist of that song says, now I own your entire video. No matter how much work you put into it, no matter how much editing you put into it, the entire thing is now mine because 4 seconds of my song is in it. So that was already controversial as it was, and that gets messy from country to country with there being different copyright laws. But the issue with the new demonetization bots is it's applying its logic to videos that do not deserve to be demonetized. I myself, I think, am a prime example. I'm following the guidelines. I started YouTube intentionally to be family friendly so that, you know, advertisers wouldn't be afraid to advertise on us, and I just also personally think it's more beneficial in our society to have a family friendly network, both in business and in morally. I like being able to have a network that parents can watch with their kids. So here I am trying my best to be clean. My vlogs don't have cursing in them. My Hello Worlds don't have cursing in them. My live streams don't have cursing in them. My tech videos do not have cursing in them. And yet I'll upload them and YouTube will demonetize them, which means there's limited to no ads running. And because their manual review process is so slow, it takes 4 to 5 days before they can approve it. And the ironic thing so far, every time I've requested a manual review, they have approved it 3 to 4 days later and said, oh, never mind, it's monetization available. But as you guys know, on the tech channel especially, 3 to 4 days after a video's been posted, views for it are drastically low, and the majority of the watch time and views on each of my videos come immediately when they're uploaded, which is of course immediately when the demonetization strikes. So I'm not saying that YouTube is wrong for demonetizing any video, because there's definitely some stuff they needed to take action on. Advertisers have a lot of influence. I just wish that YouTube, whether it be headquarters or corporate or whatever, could actually take the side of the creator a little bit and try to convince advertisers as to why, yes, there is probably some mistakes. There is some channels that do not deserve to be monetized, but there is a lot of incentive to stay on YouTube, whatever major brands we're trying to pull out. And you can explain to them why YouTube is very crucial and very important in advertising and is far more effective than television. Billions of dollars in money go into TV commercials, but first of all, people DVR, they skip through them, or the ads show no relevance to the watcher because you're just kind of shooting commercials into people's rooms, and a lot of them have nothing to do with the people who are watching them. So anytime I'm at someone else's house and they have cable TV playing, there's all these ads that relate to elderly people who suffer from this, which is sad, but it's like these are wasted ads because they're being advertised to me and I have no relevance to this. Or there's commercials that are targeted directly towards specific lady products that I definitely don't need to buy. So why is this being advertised toward me? Whereas on YouTube, you can specifically decide where ads are sent, which age demographic they go to, whether it be boys or girls, or which genre this demographic goes to. So hopefully if you're watching tech videos, you're getting ads that are more related to tech. Isn't that more of an efficient way to use advertising? And second of all, I'd also just like to mention that I understand why things may be harder legally for YouTubers. The difference with TV and movies is that it's a lot harder and a lot more complicated to get content out on television, whereas on YouTube it's very, very easy. So YouTube is taking quite extreme precautions to make sure that they don't necessarily run ads on anyone who can just upload a video, because there are some controversial people out there that are going to upload some stuff that YouTube wants to really make sure they don't get paid for, because if they're doing things that are offensive or morally wrong, they do not want to be reimbursed. So YouTube acted on that. I just really want to question the algorithm of the stupid bot that thinks that my videos have something controversial in them, and then a manual review proves that nothing was wrong with them. And as a result, as a smaller channel, I lose a ton of money in that process. Google is kind of the king of AI too. You know, they're focusing so much on being able to decide from a string of photos which one is your actual pet, and I'll memorize them by name. So like everything at Google is about machine learning and AI. I wish they could at least figure out a way to make sure this bot can decide, and you know, especially if it's deciding whether or not people make money or not. This is important, YouTube. This isn't an algorithm deciding that this picture is of my dog and this picture is not. That's not important, Google. You have an AI that is demonetizing people that are trying to be on your side, that are trying to follow your guidelines, and it's still not working. Please focus on that. If there is something wrong with my videos, if you think they truly deserve to be demonetized and they should not be reviewed, require the bot to explain why. You know, when you get a copyright claim on your video, it tells you the time code in what song it picked up, so you can know where you messed up, and if you want to re-upload this video, where you can make things different. The same exact thing should go for the demonetization feature. If there's something wrong with the video that deems it not worthy, point it out. Say at this time code we found a curse, or at this time code we found controversial content or language or whatever. Be able to back it up with evidence. If your bot is so stupid that it can't determine family-friendly content from non-family friendly content, at least force it to back up its claims with evidence. If I did something to set off that bot, I don't want to do it again because it takes you guys so long to review it that I lose a ton of money when every time I upload a video I have to wait for you guys to approve it, and it's not like I can have you approve it before I upload it because you'll only review it once it gets 1,000 views. So it has to therefore be public while it is demonetized. There's so much broken and there's so much wrong with this system that I'm really hoping YouTube can acknowledge this, and that Google, kind of the king of AI and machine learning, can figure out something is wrong here, and the machine learning that this bot is managing is affecting people's jobs. It's affecting their livelihood. So it's probably pretty important that you fix that and not focus on making sure the Google Home Mini doesn't like record everything people are saying. Do not focus on your spyware right now. You have people who are trying to make a living and they're trying to make YouTube a better platform. And you know, I wish there was some other platform we could go to as YouTubers. The problem is there's not one out there that is more popular than YouTube. I would have to have a fan base 5 times larger than that on Twitch in order for it to be the same amount of income for it to be on YouTube, which is just not doable. It's just not possible. So please let me know all your thoughts on this. Please let YouTube see this if that's at all possible. Let me all know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching this rant video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.